Hello, Author Nation. Here we are in Florida, and today our special guests are Curtis and Alex from Bookvault.
Hello.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Yeah. So you had a successful Nick?
Really good. Yeah, we're still trying to get used to the sunshine. We had a rainstorm yesterday. That made us feel a bit more at home.
We did that special for you guys.
Thank you.
Was it hard enough and long enough?
It was a bit too hard. We were carrying under an umbrella, but we're all good now.
We can try again today as well.
Yeah.
I need to wash my clothes as well. They're already done now.
Yeah, it was. That was interesting to watch. Everyone's like huddling more and more. we got on one of those cabanas, and the three of us were sitting on the couch and didn't realize the water was like condensing on the top and running right into the back of the cushions, and then we ended up getting just as wet anyhow.
We tried to hold out just under the umbrella for as long as we could, and then decided to go back to the room.
Yeah. So, well, it makes for an eventful.
It definitely was a beach blowout. That was
True blowout, like literal umbrellas wide across.
Yep.
Plants getting blown over. Well, we're not here to do weather history of Florida. We're here to talk about bespoke books and Bookvault and the kind of cool stuff that you guys are doing for authors. So, why don't you kind of introduce yourselves, tell them about what you do at the company and what the company does for people.
Yeah, so my name's Alex. I'm the technical lead for Bookvault. So I initially started at the company kind of developing software. I developed the new Bookvault platform and the integrations that go with it. For some reason, 2 years ago, they decided to let me go to Vegas for 20 Books Vegas, which was the first kind of conference we've been to in the indie scene. And ever since then, I kind of got hooked, and I think this is the 8th or 9th conference this year. So I do as much kind of interaction with the community now than I do development, but it's really useful because it helps me find out what people want, go back, lock myself in a room for a week and develop it. So it's a really good asset to have for the business.
And my name's Curtis. I've been in the company for nearly 9 years now, I believe. Losing track.
Yeah.
But I came across as an apprentice working in the production side of things, and then moved across to different departments of the business. So then spent customer services, bit of sales, bit of marketing, and a little dabble of IT. Nothing quite as complex as Alex, but a little bit.
Yeah. And as far as the company...
Yeah, so as a company, actually we've been going for just shy of 30 years now. I think this might be our 30th year, or next year is our 30th year. So we've always serviced mainly in the UK as a digital printer. So we service quite a lot of academic publishers like Bloomsbury and Taylor & Francis in the UK. And it wasn't, Bookvault's been going for about 10 years. It's like a brand within our main company. It wasn't until COVID hit that we took a step back. And that's when I kind of jumped on board and redeveloped the platform and released it to kind of what it is today. So focusing more on allowing indies to have the ability to do what everyone else has, and innovative features like the bespoke special editions. But we also generally do the normal print as well.
So, this is something that, of course, we're really interested in, and helping the community understand how they can use these different tools to, not that this is the way to do it, but here's, if you decide that you want to do things like direct sales or a Kickstarter or whatever it is, like, I've been around long enough to remember, like, those kind of things required a lot of manual labor. Like if you were going to do direct sales, you could have done that a long time ago, but it meant you had garages of boxes and you were packing stuff up and showing up at the post office.
Yeah, and I think that's very much our company ethos is automation. So as a print-on-demand printer, you can't really get very far unless everything you possibly can is automated. So we kind of try to reflect that in the way that we develop our softwares and tools as well. Certainly, I think you mentioned, direct sales. That's the way that we hopefully do it is seamless. People don't need to touch it. It can kind of go around in the background. But equally, special editions, that's always been kind of out the reach of the kind of general author, in the fact that you've got minimum order quantities and all things like that, the way that we try to approach it. And it's all very much, so our owner, Andy, is very much a yes man, and he's always said yes to pretty much everything that an author or a publisher's asked. And then we have to go back and work out actually how we're going to do it. It's a nightmare, but it really works well for our business. So the way that we do special editions is all on demand. So you can order a proof, or you can kind of, if your Kickstarter only sells 10, that means you're not scuppered. You can still get it ordered and kind of fulfill their rewards as well. So it makes it a lot more accessible to a lot more people.
And what's kind of the process if I was going to do a special edition with you guys?
Yeah, so it's quite simple on the platform. We make it, that's what we like to try and do, is just give the customer all the abilities online to do everything they need to. So we have templates that they can easily access online, give to a designer, and it's as simple as operating the fast platform, all on their copies.
And I know you've got some samples there. You want to kind of...
Here's one I made earlier, not in the hotel room, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, you on this one, you've kind of got every bell and whistle possible. So we've got the gold foil on the front there. I'm not sure how well the camera will pick it up. But equally, on the inside, you've got holographic foil as well. So kind of those two levels of foiling there. And again, it's tactile, so it's not kind of flat on there. It's raised slightly. Then we've got printed end papers as well, which again it really adds more of a premium finish to the book. And then the big one that we've just launched, which we're really excited about, is sprayed edges as well. So you've got really vibrant yellow sprayed edges, which is,
If it's not coming out, it's really... Well, that is pretty cool. And I know because I run a Kickstarter on a pen name with what I did was faux leather with foil and end papers and that, and it meant going to somebody on Etsy to get that done, right? And to be able to get something this high quality, that's...
Yeah, I think so. We're part of quite a lot of Facebook groups, Kickstarter for Authors being quite a prominent one for the special editions. And we'd see videos of people kind of send them off to artists, which is really fantastic for kind of a small run of books. But when you start getting into the longer runs, it's really hard to cost effectively get something like sprayed edges. So we just invested, I think it was in the UK, £50,000 for a new machine that you literally feed them in one by one and you can upload whatever design you want and we'll print it directly on the side of the book. And there's stuff with the foiling as well. Again, we're able to digitally put that on, so you just design whatever you want in a file and we'll print it on that. So it makes it really accessible.
Yeah, I've got clients that do actually bought spraying machine. They've been doing special projects, but fortunately they can afford that kind of stuff. But they would have an edge spraying machine in their garage.
It's one of those, and I think sprayed edges seems to have really taken a boom just recently. Everyone wants them. They're kind of hot pancakes, so it's something that we're seeing a real quick uptake. Even before we'd plug the machine in, we'd got people kind of emailing us daily of when we're going to launch it. So it's been really good for us.
Wow. And there's been some previous podcasts we've talked about this, and it's certainly part of what we're focusing on with Author Nation, this idea of the live reader event. And the people that come and spend the kind of money at a live event are going to come for that kind of stuff.
Exactly, yeah. It's all about giving a reason for people to come and buy direct from you. I mean, they could go on Amazon and just get the traditional trade paperback, but if you can, and I think special editions are one of those, especially at a fair, and that's why we come to so many events. As soon as you see it and glimmer in the air, in the light, you want to have it and you want to put it on your shelf at home. It's almost as if they're not to read, they're to kind of, they're a form of art in a way. People will buy the normal paperback and then also buy the special edition just because A, they want to support you as an author, but they also want to have that beautiful book on their shelf that they can show off effectively.
Oh, absolutely. I know. Are you familiar with Michael Sullivan?
Yes, yeah.
So the hilarious thing is all this Kickstarter stuff and special editions. He's been doing it since Kickstarter started.
Yep.
Right. And if you look at their different offer levels, those high, the faux leather books and they give you an ebook just with it because they know you're not going to read that book.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the keepsake. It's to remember, either your decorate. Literally, some of these people are using this stuff to decorate shelves, right? Or it's that you're so into the brand that what you want to have is, I want to read the story, but I want to show that I supported that author, and here's this thing that I've got.
Yeah, definitely, and we've seen a lot of success with that with lots of different authors.
Yeah.
Go ahead. We've heard from some authors that they've shown us their stats. They've bought a paperback, bought the hardback, and then they've done their special edition back in the next Kickstarter with a few more bells and whistles. And it's quite crazy to see that you can keep reselling to the same customer time and time again with just added features.
Yeah, and I've observed like authors are kind of figuring out like, hey, my audience is aging. I'm not sure where I'm going to find new people. The irony is that the younger reader is going to be reading and buying these kind of things, right? Grandma's reading on the Kindle. Granddaughter's going to live events and spending a lot of money on really cool books. Right.
And certainly you see on BookTok and TikTok that these, people have them and show them off and everyone wants them. It's one of those, a special edition is just so visually appealing that it helps boost sales in that way itself as well.
So when you guys are like watching TikTok videos and you see those, do you like look at the back shelf and start calculating how much money they're investing?
Yeah. Certainly, it's one of those, yeah. With Bespoke, we were originally just looking at foiling, and then it was like, well, I'd like a ribbon. Okay, we'll add that. All sprayed edges. Okay. And it was actually Vegas last year that we decided to make the investment on the sprayed edges machine, because we've always been a bit like, I mean, they're not cheap to do. I mean, this one, I think, is roughly $33, but it's one of those that you can sell it for over $100.
Yeah.
So we were always a bit worried, people, they're not going to like that price. We're not going to sell it. And people were biting our arm off for it. So that's good.
Let's talk about this for a minute. Because this is a big deal thing that authors, I'm going to get on my soapbox here. They have to stop with this scarcity mentality.
Yep.
They got to quit thinking that they're the one that's buying the book. Somebody could fly on their private jet to the event and they have a Amex Black card that has no limit, right? Like, don't think with your wallet, think with their wallet, right? And yes, you may have customers that are on a fixed income and only want to read in KU. That's not what this is for. This is an amazing lead magnet to find the people that'll get you a customer that doesn't care about price, that is going to say, can I get the whole series? Do you have the whole series this way?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's the thing. It's not the only product you're selling. So you've got the full spectrum. You don't want to solely focus on a special edition. You want the ebook, the audiobook, the regular print book, the large print book, the hardback, and then the special edition. Every reader will find one thing that works for them. Some readers will buy the top package. Some readers will go on the low package. But if you have all those available, you're likely to get sales of all of them.
Yeah. That's the beauty of POD, the fact that these special editions that we can do on a single copy basis, so you can target that for, okay, you've got these sort of high clientele people who are going to buy them, but you don't have to stock hundreds and thousands of them and just...
Right, you're not tying a bunch of your money up and having 6 cases of these sitting, because yes, you could go get something like that made probably for cheaper in China.
Yep.
But then you have whatever money that is tied up until those books move. Right?
Exactly that, yeah.
So this is what's so powerful about this is like you can test this out. It's like, this is a marketing strategy I want. Maybe down the road you're doing so much of this that you're like, it makes sense to like start doing runs elsewhere. But for my thinking, if you really are making this part of your experience where you have different covers and different special editions that you do either for holidays or for events that you're doing, people that are in this for the collectability of it, that's what's part of their experience. Is you're not trying to, sometimes I think authors will feel bad that they're getting more money out of the person, but like, that's their decision. Like they came there to buckle because they want the full set, right? Like that's part of what makes them feel good. So just make them feel good.
Yeah, and we've seen special editions also work in quite a surprising way as reader magnets to get them away from Amazon and onto their direct store. So traditionally, you can't really sell a special edition on Amazon. You can only sell it on your own store or Kickstarter. So we've seen authors say, you've got to buy from my store. There's no other way you can get it. That then gets in the ecosystem of, actually, I ordered that special edition from their store. It made it there on time. It was a great experience. When you release your next trade book or a standard ebook or anything like that, they're more likely or happy to buy from your store because they've already had a positive experience. And then you're obviously moving more into the direct approach as opposed to Amazon. So it's another way of looking at it as well.
That's really good piece of advice for folks. What other kind of things do you see people doing that are possible because of the capabilities of your company?
Yeah, certainly. I think we mentioned about direct sales earlier. Again, it's kind of, we now have 5 integrations. So PayHip's one we launched most recently. That's one that certainly authors utilize quite heavily. So there's always been the ebook integration with BookFunnel, but now we've offered a print integration. We've worked directly with them, so you can get shipping rates and all sorts of things like that. And it automatically dispatches it, similar to our other integrations like Shopify, WooCommerce, and Wix as well there.
Yeah, I think, like I said about the POD, given that ability to not invest a huge amount of stock and get something beautiful like these books, I'd see a copy as a test the field, do a market exercise to see how that's going to be, our reach going to be interested, and I feel that's really crucial.
So if let's say I've got my Shopify store hooked up to you guys, and do I go into your website and my account and I build those and then I bring the products over, or do I do that right through Shopify? Can it help me?
So you can do it either way. So you can, generally the Bookvault portal is the hub of everything. So with that one account, you can connect it to multiple stores. You can just do your own author copies. You can distribute. So the Bookvault portal is kind of the central thing. From there, you can either push it to your Shopify store, or you can use Shopify to link it to your Bookvault portal. So you can link an existing product to your Bookvault portal so it knows what to fulfill. And then, all the order management is all done through Bookvault. So the orders come straight through. We automatically upload all the shipping profiles to your Shopify store as well. So I think we upload just shy of 40,000 shipping profiles automatically. So there's no need to kind of key them in there. And we update them when they change as well. So it's just a really seamless approach that covers all bases as well.
Awesome. Well, figuring this is probably going to come out around the time of the show, is there anything you want to have...
I haven't told you this actually, Curtis, and
Two people learned this.
I'm putting myself on the spot here, but physical box sets and slipcases, so the actual box that you put the books in, that's something we've teased a lot and has always been a bit nervous about launching because of the demand that we've been receiving for special editions. But obviously we're going home. I think we've seen the importance of it, and we'll get that live before Vegas. So we'll have some pretty exciting kind of, I think, single copy box sets, so actual physical boxes that the books go in. That's something, again, pretty much I don't know the company that offers it, so it'll be a really exciting thing, especially again for the Kickstarter and special edition market.
I know there's a lot of people that have tried to figure out that one out, as far as like, oh, I want to do this, and then they start looking at start China, and it's like it's too hard.
Yeah. And it's something we have done for people. So we've got the track record. It's always been the amount of people that have wanted it. We don't want to overrun ourselves. We've always been kind of quite busy with all the special edition stuff, so we don't want to let that delay and kind of add more fuel to a fire, for instance. But I think we've just invested in a new foiling machine. That was £250,000, but that's kind of really helped production there. So I think we're ready to take the next step and kind of launch that, which would be really, really exciting.
Yeah, I know this stuff is not cheap and takes a while to tune in, and when it breaks for everybody.
I think I spent the best part of 4 weeks down in production working on the new foiling machine, getting that all set up and live, but once it works it's so much better, so it's good.
What we're always focused on is the automation. So yes, we get the machine, but it's how to automate that fully into our workflow to make it cost effective and able to give a good price to the authors.
And good output as well. I think that's certainly little things like dialing down how much to raise the foil and things like that, just to try and get it perfect. I mean, the thing that we're most impressed with is the detail as well. You can kind of see there's tiny specks, and we'll have them on our table at Orphanation as well. All the real fine detail of what it can produce.
Yeah, and for folks that don't understand that whole thing and like how much you guys eat getting the machine to work for the production copies, all that. The ones where the foil wasn't right, you don't get to sell those.
Well, that's the thing. We invested we first tried a small, so I guess, entry-level machine, which the amount of waste and time involved in trying to get that, so we quite really realised that we didn't scale up and invest in something. But it's one of those chicken and egg scenario. We had a lot of demand or some requests, but was wondering how many people are actually going to take this up when we release this new feature, and we're pretty much blown away.
We were, there was a few weekends and overtimes of manually feeding sheets through a foiling machine, but it's one of those, it's always a good problem to have. So.
Yeah, well, it's better to be saying to the boss that than
yes, exactly that.
Sitting there with the standby light blinking.
Yes, we don't want that.
And he's getting the next month's bill.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. So, we're excited to have you at Author Nation. You guys got a booth. You'll be doing some presentations. You got some office hours?
Yeah, definitely. So we're doing a presentation on, obviously, special editions, so going into more of the finer detail of how you would supply the files, what special editions you can do, and also some case studies on what people have already achieved with special editions. And then equally, we're doing another kind of walkthrough as such on the Bookvault platform, kind of the creating an account to setting up your Shopify store, also look at some of the other features that might help you along the way, like bulk order imports and things like that. So just a kind of complete overall thing there. But equally, we're bringing quite a team this year as well. So before, I think the first year it was just me, and by the end of Monday, I was already, if it wasn't jet lag, it was tiredness from the amount of people I've spoken to.
Yeah.
But we're kind of fully committed this year to try and speak to as many people as we can, and it's always good to sit down even with people with laptops and help them with any issues they might be having, because we can do it over Zoom. We offer the ability to do a meeting over Zoom, but in person is just as easier, or if not better.
Yeah, that's really part of what we're trying to facilitate for you and your customers is like, if they can just sit with you for 20 minutes and you can answer that question for them, that could be the thing that gets them over the edge, right?
Yep.
That whole idea of you're intimate with all of this stuff. They've tried. I get it. If you're coming there and you're like, I loaded it, but haven't done anything. That's not fair to these guys, right? They're going to see hundreds of customers this week. So, but if you got a real issue that, come and talk to them, and they're going to be able to look over your shoulder and say, oh yeah, that's over here.
Yeah, and certainly as a company, we're large, but we're also quite small in the fact that we all know how to do a lot. So Curtis could, for instance, go down and run your print job on the machine, so he knows a lot about the production side of things. Myself, IT, I know a lot about the platform, equally can help with production. So we've got the key skills there as well to be able to answer the questions. It's not going to be we'll take a note and get back to you. We should be able to deal with it there and then, which is exciting.
Yeah, no, I think that one of the things that's really going to be something that folks notice different about this show is the accessibility we have to the partners like you that are there trying to do this, not just to help with problems, but like in your case, or in both your case, like you're hearing this stuff and this becomes an opportunity for you to go back and say, like, we could probably do that.
Yeah.
We could. And and when you hear it enough, right, I remember talking about BookFunnel and what they did with audio and direct sales. There was multiple times sitting with Damon here, talking him over, like, kind of pushing on him, and I know I was an early voice in that, and then it hurt, but then it happened, and we were just having breakfast the other day, and I'm like, I told you something like that. and it's great that it's the biggest part of his business, and it's doing all these wonderful things, but more importantly, what it's done to give the author community more autonomy, right? This is the stuff that's important with what you're doing, is this autonomy that if you choose to do it your way, you can now.
Yeah.
It may be harder, it may take longer, but if you never ever want to use somebody else's sales platform to be able to sell digital products and beautiful products like that, this wasn't something you could do a few years ago.
Yeah, it's an exciting time, and exactly that. We wouldn't have even thought about bespoke, really, if it wasn't for people asking. We had some early Kickstarters of, can you do this? And it was like, I guess we can. And then we built it into the platform, and yeah, it's fantastic to offer it to so many people.
Cool. All right, guys, is there anything else you want to share with folks? Otherwise, tell them where they can find you and, the usual sign-off stuff.
Yeah. So you can find us at bookvault.app, which you can kind of get a quote without even signing up and find out what we can do. You can find us on all the social medias at bookvault_app there. And as I say, we offer, even before Author-Nation, if you want to reach out, we've got the ability to book meetings, and you can reach out to our support team as well. So we're always here when you need us.
Awesome. Curtis, Alex, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
We'll see you in November.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for having us.